One time I walked in on 2 people doing it in the school bathroom, took a photo, threatened it as blackmail, and if they didn't pay me as much as they got, I took all their money, kept the photo, and then I proceeded to goon to it afterwards. Welcome to the Down Bad Diaries, where you guys submitted your most diabolical down bad moments known to man. Today I'll be ranking them, and I hope you enjoy the video. It's gonna be a good one, guys. There are 6 ranks, the best one being just like me. Then I don't know about that one, bro. Then alright, bro. Then yo, bro. Then bro, I'm calling the police. And finally, the worst one, lethal injection, bro. Some of these are so bad that I fully expect to give you all lethal injections. Like, I'm not even kidding. Alright, let's get right into it. I literally was gooning and I scrolled on your page and busted on you because of how cute you were. Last time I checked, I did not give consent to that, so oh my god. Even if this was a joke, you typed that out. Oh my god. You need jail time. You need jail. That's all I have to say. I'm calling the police. One time I shit in the tub and made my dad clean it up. Didn't want to say it was shit though. So I went into his room naked, didn't wipe. And I was like, Dada, a giant worm crawled into the tub from the drain. And showed him somehow my massive turd. Like, I was 4 and this turd was practically the weight of my scrawny ass body. Don't know how I pushed that one out, but basically my dad cleaned it up. That shit was not a worm. How are we launching out turds that are 2 times our size at 4 years old? And the fact that you didn't even tell, like, you thought you were gonna fool him. You thought you were fooling somebody. I guarantee you he did not think that was a worm. But the fact that you went into his room butt naked without wiping and have the audacity to lie to him to his face, being butt naked and not having wiped, is just straight devious. But you know, I'm gonna give you the pass on this one because you were 4 years old. You know, you were just, you know, learning the ropes of things. So I'm gonna just give you an alright, bro. Okay, here's the next one. One time in freshman year, this girl kept texting me saying, I'm gonna sleep with you, man, and he's mine. And she would text me literally every day, so I got fed up and sat behind her in English, and I cut a bit of her hair off every day and spread a rumor that she was sleeping with our male health teacher. I don't even know what I just read. This is like all over a girl. This is like a girl texted you you're complaining for the wrong reasons, bro. You cut a bit of her hair off every single day and she still continued to text you. I feel like you overreacted, but that's devious, bro. I'm gonna put you straight in, yo, bro. Okay, here's the next one. One time I was really horny, so I sat on my Gatorade bottle to feel something. Then when that didn't work, I tried to recreate the toothbrush scene from Ginny in Georgia. Also, love you, Moose. You can't just mask up what you just told me. Those words have never been uttered by man before in history. And there you are trying to cover it up with, also love you, Moose. I mean, I personally cannot relate to this whatsoever. And the fact that it didn't even work after a failed attempt of pleasing yourself with a Gatorade bottle. Then trying another thing you learned from a kid's show. I'm gonna just put you in, alright, bro. I accidentally stuck it in the wrong hole to see how my girlfriend would react. That's a crime, I think. You left me on a cliffhanger. You didn't even tell me how she reacted. That's like, you can't hit me with to see how she reacted and not tell me how she reacted. That's just some straight up devious stuff happening. And I'm pretty sure there's like a crime in there somewhere. You called this accidentally on purpose. I'm gonna just put you in, I'm calling the police. Because that has to be a crime. I don't know. Okay, this next one's a long one. What I'm about to say is something you're not allowed to judge. Okay, for the sake of this. So there was this one guy. Tell me why I gave his best friend head. Like full performance Olympic level. And why? Because I knew he'd tell him. Like strategically, I picked one friend who gossips just enough and got a little ego. I was like, yeah, let me just casually ruin my dignity for a chance that this man hears I'm good at it. And yes, it worked. Wow, that's some mad skill. Yes, he watched my story like 6 times that day. And yes, he DM'd me saying, what are we doing later? But like, at what cost? And don't even get me started on the time I flirted with his dad at the graduation party. Like, not full-on flirting. I laughed at every single dad joke, touched his arm, and said, you look too young to be his dad, and then told him, you're so sweet. Like, I wasn't trying to get adopted and stay in the house for good. I don't know if I was in love or just clinically unwell. Maybe both. That is possibly the greatest heist of the century, and props to you for calculating that so perfectly. I can't believe it actually worked. You know what? Since it worked, I'm gonna put you straight in. Alright, bro. So last year I had a coworker that I really liked, and I wrote a fan fiction about him. I wrote a fan fiction about him, gave it to him, and you read it and said it was really good and he liked it. And then we started dating. Imagine telling your kids that you met because you wrote a fan fiction about a coworker and he just so happened to like it. Like, what are the odds that a coworker would like a fan fiction you wrote about them? Oh my gosh. And you ranked it just like me. You personally ranked it just like me. You said you would do it again. Whatever floats your boat, bro. I'm gonna just put you in. I don't know about that one, bro. I had sex with a boy. It felt so good that we just started to suck each other's dick. Okay, what a drastic turn of events. So first off, the plot twist there was immaculate. Second of all, the way you worded it made it sound like it was like your first time, and then immediately after you switched to oral with a guy. Which, I don't have a problem with the guy part, but you also said with a boy. You didn't say with a man or with a guy, you said with a boy, implying this was a child. But I'm gonna stick with the facts on this one of what you said, which is it felt so good you just started to suck each other off. Knowing that it was 2 dudes, and the only way to engage in that is to like put in their ass, you're basically just sucking ass, you know what I'm saying? Like, gross. I'm gonna put you in, bro, I'm calling the police because this may or may not be on a child. Okay, I'm a hopeless romantic, so when my boyfriend at the time was trying to break up with me, I faked skipping my period and told him I thought I was pregnant, but after a week I felt bad and told him it came late. I'm 15, by the way. Okay, so first of all, you're 15 and you have a pregnancy scare, which is already diabolical. Second of all, the thoughts you must have put in this guy's head at 15 years old. You told him, you gave him a pregnancy scare, not because you thought you were pregnant, not because you were scared, but because he was gonna break up with you. And then after acting it out for about a week, which deserves an Emmy, by the way, you just hit him with, oh, just kidding, it was just late. You deserve jail time. That's not technically illegal. So I'm gonna just put yo bro. But if there was something worse than yo bro, but above bro I'm calling the police, you'd be right there. Just so you know. Everybody steer clear of this person. Okay, this next one I cannot read out loud because I can't live with myself. Here it is. I'm just putting it on the screen for you so you can read it. Okay, first of all, this is probably the first time these words have ever been uttered from somebody's mouth. Like, first time in history ever said from a human. This person may not be human, actually, at this point. I don't think so. The fact that you continue to do it after a couple of weeks to your baby brother is just actually illegal, and you need to be locked up for like as long as possible. Like a life sentence. This is like not forgivable ever. You just hit him with like the P. Diddy. I don't know what I just read, but you deserve a lethal injection. I feel so bad for your baby brother. I hope you go away for a long, long time, by the way. Okay, this next one's really serious. You may need to call somebody. Whenever I get mad, I want to commit suicide with a knife, a real knife. And my dad has a lot of guns, but they're in a safe, so I try to figure out what the code is. Just know you're not alone, and there are resources for people who experience these things. Personally, I used to experience thoughts, but after speaking to somebody for quite a little bit, the thoughts faded away, and I became closer to God and to my family, and thank God I'm still here. And violence is a permanent solution to a temporary problem that can be fixed simply by talking to somebody. I know that may not be for everybody, but there are resources you can call. And God bless you if you believe in God, and I hope you heal from these thoughts that you're having, because they are not something to joke about, and I'm glad you've reached out because now I can address this. And for anybody else experiencing these things, they also have a resource they can call. So whoever's experiencing these things, please talk to somebody and don't just let it pile up, because I made that mistake and I almost broke. So just communicate and everything will be okay. Okay, so when I was in 3rd grade, my class was one of the chill ones. Is in all caps, by the way. We never really got in trouble too much, but one day a kid started talking about the number 69. Anyways, a lot of the other kids would be outside chanting, "I want 69." And obviously we got sent to the principal's office and had to talk to the principal. Stuck in this tiny little room, we were all listening to her out of nowhere, and our teacher says, "To be honest, I kind of want 69 too," like it was the most normal thing ever. "You need to be locked up. You said this in front of kids." But she got fired and we never saw her again. The end. Thankfully, she got fired. There is no exception for talking these freaky deaky words in front of children. Not to mention you were in 3rd grade. It's like 10. And there you are saying, "I kind of want 69 too," to a ton of kids. Hilariously devious, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm glad they faced the consequences they deserve, and maybe even some jail time. But I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm calling the police. My boyfriend ghosted me, so I sent flowers to his mom's house saying they were from his dad. They're divorced, and the thing is, they ended. My friend ghosted me, so I sent So I sent flowers to his mom's house saying they were from his dad. They're divorced, horrible relationship. And the thing is, they ended up getting back together, and my ex claimed it was his idea. But now I'm delusional and I think I'm a matchmaker. You are a matchmaker. You are a matchmaker. You brought back 2 divorced parents who went through the process of getting divorced, all because your boyfriend ghosted you, and I find that very impressive. This is the first wholesome one that I haven't seen about gooning, about just like you semen demons out there, but yeah, let's continue. Literally the exact next one just says, I oiled up to your vids. No. Let's not do that. You're oiling up to a minor's videos. I'm gonna lethally inject you myself. Okay. I took a photo of my crush. I'm gay. And I put it on the ceiling to look at every day when I fall asleep and wake up. You printed a photo and taped it to your ceiling of your crush. That's crazy. Not only did you say, no, I don't just want to see him at school, you said I want to see him every second when I close my eyes. You want to see him when you close your eyes. If you ever succeed in becoming, like dating this person as a gay person, and they come over and find out, they're either going to be flattered or they're going to file a restraining order and then sprinkle glitter on top of it. I looked up my Gen Z teacher's Instagram and found it. I've said some crazy things about my past crushes. I've said some very crazy things about my past crushes. Very crazy things. I've had 3 wet dreams in 1 week. I thought I peed myself until the 3rd one. I came 5 times in 1 day, and until it was burning. I came only using my mind when I was grounded.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
Okay, first of all, how'd you even find your teacher on Instagram? Like, what kind of FBI investigating did you need to pull off? Like, and then you had not 1, not 2, but 3 wet dreams in 1 week about your teacher. This person said they would do it again. And the wildest part is, you said when you were grounded, you use your mind to think about them. Like it was some, like, energy source. I hope you passed that class, because if not, then those dreams were for nothing. Like, I don't even know what to tell you. I'm calling the police. Actually, no. You know what? Lethal injection. You're getting lethally injected today. You can't walk the streets. You're 5 times in 1 day. One time, I secretly took a picture of someone and put them into an AI nude maker because I was so down bad. What did I just read? Okay, you didn't just take a picture of your crush. You uploaded it, waited for it to load, no regrets whatsoever, into an AI nude generator. You weaponized technology for lust. I use ChatGPT for my work, but your FBI agent probably looked at your screen and then just decided to log off, because that's just messed up, bro. I don't know. I'm not even mad. I'm just terrified. Like, you're the reason tech regulation exists. This isn't even a question. I'm just lethally injecting you. I didn't expect to lethally inject so many people today, but after reading some of these, I think I need a different audience. Once I sniffed my friend's underwear while we were showering, and I finished to the smell. Did you now? Okay, first of all, you didn't even just smell it, which is already bad enough, by the way. You finished to it. You might as well just beat it to her phone number, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I'm calling the cops on you, bro. I guess it's more disgusting, but when I was younger, me and my brother shared a tub, and I always peed a lethal amount in the tub. Lethal. But he never knew because my pee-pee was covered by the bubbles. One day he was playing with one of the toy boats in the tub and decided he'd drink some of the water in the tub. And this was right after I had just pissed a cannon. He chugged some water and said, "My name. Did you pee?" And I said, "No, must have been lemonade." Like, I was not sneaky with that. We never shared a bath ever again. I like this guy, but he wasn't in my grade, so I wanted to learn more about him. So I followed his mom, his brother, and his exes and stalked all of them. I became friends with both of his exes, and I heard all the tea, and I stalked his family and ended up finding out what church he went to, his school schedule, his address, oh my gosh, his hobbies, his birthday. I also found his dad died, and I found out the date he died and the cemetery they buried him in. This is another level of stalker. I've never ever seen a case this bad in my life. And at what cost? Like, we don't even know if it worked or not. But imagine the first words you talk to your crush are, so how did your dad die? And he didn't even tell you about it. You just knew. Like, imagine making that mistake. Like, you just bring it up out of nowhere and he's like, how'd you know? And you have to, like, I don't even know what you do. This is another level of creepy, but also some mad dedication. But that doesn't excuse the fact that you've made friends with his exes and, like, stalked his dead dad. I'm calling the police. Okay, so basically I was 12. I'm 15 now, but I was laying in bed and I was watching a movie before I went to sleep. Well, the movie was 50 Shades of Grey. I don't know why I was watching that at 12. But then I felt freaky, and 50 Shades of Grey is freaky. And I took our plastic Harry Potter wand and put it up my